Hello YouTube, it's Nadine here. Welcome back to my channel. Just here for a very quick reading update for this last week. I've had a really good reading week actually. I hope you have too. So first of all, I finished a book that I was reading over Christmas called I Am Scrooge, a zombie story for Christmas by Adam Roberts. Aww. Why aww? It was okay. It was quite a short book. It basically rewrites A Christmas Carol, and Scrooge has to try and avert the zombie apocalypse. So yeah, it was quite enjoyable. I wouldn't say it's going to be a staple of my Christmas reading from here on out, but I did enjoy it. I gave it 3 stars. Next, I'm still listening to Total Recall by Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I started embarrassingly back in November. Come here. Come here. No, you can't sit on that one. Come on, come round. It's not that I'm not enjoying the book, I am. I'm a big fan of Arnie. You know, I grew up watching his films, Terminator and Commando and lots of other things I really shouldn't have been watching when I was little. And so I love Arnie. It's just I'm not really getting much chance to read, to listen to books. And when I do have the time to listen to an audiobook, I'm choosing at the moment to actually not. Just because I'm finding that sometimes it's the only chance I get to have a bit of headspace and a bit of peace and quiet and to finish a thought without mama, mama all the time. Yes, you got a monkey. Mama. Are you sitting at the table as well? Such a big girl. So I am a grand total of 5 hours into that book. So, you know, I should finish it by the end of the year. Fingers crossed. Next, I've written all this down, but I haven't put it in order because I'm a genius. Next, I started this Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I'd heard loads of people raving about it on BookTube, and I can see why. I'm only a short way in, 80 pages, and it is set in our future, and basically society has cured a lot of the things that plague us, so, you know, disease, illness, death. You know, if you was to commit suicide, you can be revived from that. But it's actually really interesting the kind of implications of that. You know, people can still have families, so something has to be in place to cull the numbers down because we haven't made it into space. You know, we've only got this planet, we've got, you know, finite resources. So, hi! So, they have scythes who basically decide who dies, who lives, who dies. That is their job. So yeah, it's a really interesting book. I'm enjoying it so far. Next, I finished The Burning Page by Genevieve Cogman. I can't show it you because it was on my Kindle. It is the 3rd book in the Invisible Library series. It follows Irene, a librarian. Librarians' jobs are to go into these sort of parallel worlds where there are unique copies of you know, great well-known pieces of literature. She's knocked us over. No, don't press anything, you little monkey. Yay, come here. It wasn't the best one in the series so far, but I still enjoyed it. I gave it, I think, 3.5 stars. I know you can't give points on Goodreads, but mentally 3.5 stars. I will carry on with the series. I'll wait until the sort of the 99p deals. Is that fun? Are you going stomp? Yeah, don't touch. Don't touch it, you little rebel. Next, from the library, I picked up this, The Sleeper and the Spindle, by Neil Gaiman, illustrated by Chris Riddell. And it is just gorgeous. I'm about halfway through it. I'm just sort of snatching time to read a page here and there. But the illustrations are are so beautiful. So you find you're spending. Don't press the button. You find you're spending quite a lot of your time just sort of poring over the pictures because they're just stunning. Don't press it. My videos, they're so polished, aren't they? Is that why you watch? It's the professionalism of it all. Sorry, anytime I have to do these videos, and I enjoy doing them, so that's it. Then I finished Carrie by Stephen King. Won't go into that too much because if you've watched my other videos, you know I'm doing a Stephen King project now, and I'm going to make a video at the end of the month talking about the book and the movie adaptations. I will say it was fantastic going back and reading it. It must be 20 plus years since I read that book originally. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Should mummy just hold it? Yeah, 20 plus years since I originally read that book. And it hasn't dated. I worried that it was going to really date, but it hasn't, and it was really enjoyable. I gave it 5 stars. I'm very much enjoying the project so far. I know it's very early days, but yeah, and I will talk about it more in the future video. You are a rascal. And then when I finished that, cheese. When I finished that, I started to read The Last by Hannah Jameson. I'm about 40% in, I think, at the moment, and it is fantastic. I don't know if it's out anywhere else yet. In the UK, I believe it's out later this month. I got it through NetGalley. And it follows John, who is a historian. He goes to a convention in this remote hotel in Switzerland when the nuclear bombs hit. And so it follows him and the group of people that are in this hotel when the bombs hit, and basically the world has come to an end. It's quite a tense book and really quite frightening because it's based in our world with sort of, it doesn't get political, but it's, you know, you can tell it's sort of what we're living now, and you know that carried through to its ultimate, and potentially yeah, it's really good. So I'm hoping to finish that this week, as well as everything else. I've been buying far too many books as per usual, more books than I read, and I'm using the library lots as per usual because I can't walk past a bookshelf without scouring it. It's an illness. But yeah, that's it for this week. What are you guys reading? Have you read any of these books? Anything that you think that I might like? Okay, and I will speak to you next week for another chaotic video from our family. Bye!